Hello, YouTube. It's your boy Nathan coming to you to do another recap video. Today we are talking 90 Day to Last Resort, Season 2, Episode 21, the fifth part of this tell all. So I'm just glad it's finally over. So let's just get into it so we can get on out of here. So we left off with Gina and Jasmine. We left off with them about to bring Matt onto the screen. Now, part of me feels like Matt was a little bit of a coward because if he really loved Jasmine and everything, then he should have been at the I'm sorry, this is episode 22, by the way. Episode 22 of the Last Resort. So, but anyway, like I'm saying, if he really loved Jasmine, he would have been there. And if he's really a man like he claims he is, he would have been there and take the heat. Now, again, I don't condone no violence. I'm not saying he should have come to get like physically beat up, but he should have been able to be there in person to say his piece. And he wasn't. So we just had him on screen. So Sean, the host, had asked, like, basically asked, like, Jasmine, like, went a little bit deep into it about the rules. Like, okay, but she was like, the rules were like, you weren't supposed to like really fall in love with the third person and everything. And she even made a valid point. She said, like, your relationship was not good at the start of this. So, like, why did you agree usually when people bring in a third to spice it up, like, their relationship is going well. Your relationship is not going good. Now you're adding a third person. And Jasmine actually took accountability for her actions and said, yeah, this was a terrible mistake. I regret doing this. I should, if I really wasn't this happy, I should have just packed up and went back to Panama. But instead I came up with this idea and it backfired, basically. So they asked Gina, like, what are you getting out of this? Weren't you going to be with somebody else? And Gina said, like, he wasn't with anybody else throughout the open marriage or even now, basically. So they asked Matt, like, the guys are attacking Matt, and they were like, man, he's a piece of crap, man. He's sleeping with somebody else's woman and everything. Matt tried to explain himself by saying that he's not a home wrecker. He's not this bad person that Gina is making him out to be and everything, blah, 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 and everything. And I'm just like, he may not be a bad person, but my thing is that, like, you broke the rule. Now, I wouldn't even agree to this if, like, it's like to an open marriage, like, for the third person, because that you're coming into a lot of toxicness, and for someone who doesn't really believe in it, you're just adding more problems to it, and now you got somebody pregnant and everything. So, like, I personally wouldn't agree to be like in this particular open marriage because, like, it was just rocky. Now if it was like a real mutual agreement, like Matt and Minnie and Annie and their relationship, then okay. But it wasn't like that. That's just to me, that's just too much drama, basically. Now, part of me does see Matt's feel for it because Jasmine is a beautiful lady and everything, he's an attractive guy. So, if a beautiful lady wants to be intimate with you, then, it's for a man, it's really hard to say no to that. So I see why Matt agreed to it, because how beautiful Jasmine is and stuff. But still, it's just all weird to me. So they asked Matt, do you love Jasmine? And he was like, yes. She's carrying the she's carrying my child, basically. And they asked Jasmine, do you love Matt? And she wouldn't give an answer, like, really. She said, like, like, she really doesn't know what she wants. Like, she's got love for Matt, but, she even asked, do you still love Gino? And she starts crying and saying, people may question the reason why I came here and everything, that I used Gino. I love Gino with all my heart and everything. Gina and Rob weren't having it. Like, Rob was just like, oh, victim, 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 just shut up and everything. Gina was just like, if you really love me, you wouldn't have pursued Matt 5 months into our marriage and all that and everything. And everything. So like, and let's not forget now, we're I'm happy for Jasmine. And she, remember, like I said last week, she did have the baby. Her name is Matilda. They call her Maddie. Beautiful, and she got a beautiful daughter and everything. But Jasmine still also has some kids back in Panama and stuff that nobody's talking about. And when they weren't happily ever after, that was a whole topic of discussion. And now that wasn't even brought up here on The Last Resort, basically. So, like, so then Matt tried to say his piece. Oh, well, Gino treated her bad. Like, he didn't want to sleep with her, blah, blah, blah. And Gino's like, hey, he called him some names and stuff I'm not going to say. But he was like, you don't know Jack, blah, blah, blah. And they were going back and forth and everything. And so, like, we really got nowhere, basically. So, like, and I'm just like, and who is Matt to really judge? He really doesn't know crap, because Gina and Jasmine were intimate in the beginning of their relationship. Like, when he first went to Panama to meet her and stuff and everything, and even on the second trip to Panama, they were intimate and stuff and everything. It wasn't until she got to the States is when they stopped being intimate and everything and stuff. So Matt really doesn't know what he's talking about. And he's claiming that Gina treated her bad. Gina did not treat her bad. He didn't control her or anything. He was just tired of her foolishness. Jasmine caused Gina to be out of character. Like, when we first met Gina back on season 5 of Before the 90 Days, Gino was so like geeky and shy and timid, and he got this like really hot Panamanian girlfriend and everything. He was like really like timid and everything, but she was on that BS from the get-go. So it caused Gina to get out of character so much, and we seen like a rougher side of Gina than what we were used to and everything. I was like, man, Gina, like, come on, stick up for yourself. So he's been finally sticking up for himself, and Jasmine didn't like it and everything. So, I'm glad that Jasmine took accountability for her actions finally and everything, and said what she did wrong in the marriage and stuff and everything. Yeah, she should have just went back to Panama, like when it wasn't working, or just broke up with Gino, divorce Gina, and go be with Matt. You don't bring an open marriage into the situation to fix the problem, so it doesn't really make sense. Like, oh, can you like have sex with me so I can fix our relationship problems? Makes no sense at all. And that's basically what it was, basically. So yeah, so they wrapped up Gina and Jasmine's segment, and before they wrapped up the tell-all, they decided to bring out the therapist. They bring out the therapist. Everybody's mad at Dr. Reba, because she kind of like initiated, like put the thought in Jasmine's head to go that it's okay to do the open marriage. And I want to make this very clear. I watched that scene. Reba said that her and her husband are polyamorous, but she didn't say like go do it. She just made reference to that. Reba and her husband may have a healthier relationship compared to Gina and Jasmine. Reba did not say to Gina to Jasmine to go and do the open marriage thing just because she does and everything. So there was a lot of misconception and everything. So when the therapist came out, like, Gina felt like, well, nobody told me like what I should do, and this, I didn't have this conversation with you or whatever. Reba said that, it's not our job to tell you what you can and can't do and everything, which is true. At the end of the day, it was still their decision and everything. But Reba did not say to Jasmine that go do the open marriage. She actually even recommended telling her not to do it, just because she does it. It doesn't work for everybody. So there's a lot of misconceptions. So everybody on social media is like, all these therapists are terrible. All Reba should be fired. Blah 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 and all that. No, no. She just because she said she does it, she didn't say that Gina and Jasmine should do it. So people are getting all that mixed up. So anyway, now we get to the part that kind of pissed me off a little bit. As I've been saying all season long, unpopular opinion, I cannot stand Florian. And this episode just proved why I can't stand him. Now, everybody is going to be on Florian's side, call out the therapist on what happened and everything. Sean had asked, like, the therapist, like, what do you think of the couples? We already talked about Gina and Jasmine. What about now Natalie and Josh and everything? Natalie and Josh just agreed together in mutual ways. And now Stacy and Florian. And I think the therapist said with Florian, he shut down like from the get-go because he already made it clear that he does not believe in therapy, basically, and everything. And basically, like, and one of the therapists has said that with Stacy and Florian, sometimes there's like instead of a husband and wife role, there is a mother and child role, basically. And when Florian heard mother and child role, he was like, "What? You think she's about mama? You think she's about mom and everything?" It's like acting like a mother, not your mom, acting like it means the same thing, blah 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 blah, and all that. He just went crazy and everything. Just had like all kind of anger problems. Like, you like, what are you son? Y'all know nothing, blah 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 blah. You think Stacey my dad, my mother, blah blah blah, and everything. And then and they're trying to say like, Florian, I guess in some anger, like what anger, my Reba, and everything. He just like started just like screaming, yelling and stuff and everything. And finally, Stacy just had enough of it and walked off the stage. She tried to comment, like all the girls were saying, I can't tolerate this disrespect because these are trained therapists, these are licensed and professionals and everything. You got Florian just being disrespectful to them, not even letting them speak and everything. So Stacy walks off and she's upset and everything. And Florian's still out there screaming, and then he walks off. And then Stacy just goes and tells her, "You need to stop. Like, these are professionals and everything. Like, I'm tired of this and everything." So Florian leaves and just goes out and I'm gonna go have a cigarette. And she's like, and Stacy's like, "Yeah, go have a cigarette. You said you're gonna stop and you're not. So that's another lie you told too." So Stacy goes back on stage and gives the therapist a hug and apologizes for his behavior. And and that was the thing that the therapists were frustrated at Stacy at doing. Like, Stacy, stop apologizing for him. That's what we mean. Like, you cannot control his actions. Like, we love you. Like, it's okay. You're good, and all that. And they recommended that she get her own personal therapy for herself and for her mental health, basically. And I agree. But Florian, like, this is where I side with the girls on, because like Florian, he always demands respect, but he doesn't give it. He does not give any kind of respect to anybody, to the girls, his wife, and everything. Like Ari was also trying to tell him to stop and everything. He kept saying, "Ari, go to sleep. Ari, go to sleep," and everything. And like, dude, dude, it's like, stop. Like, you're not all that like you claim up to be, and you're just making yourself look terrible. Now, again, this is my unpopular opinion, because everybody on social media is gonna be like, "Oh yeah, Florian telling it what it is. Yeah, go Florian." Forget that. Florian was disrespectful and arrogant and an a-hole, in my opinion. Now, I was watching Pillow Talk, and Kim and Jamal were on Pillow Talk, and Jamal had said, like, I met Florian in person before, and I'll admit, like, he makes me want to like punch him a few times too, like, and everything. So Florian does have anger problems, and he claims that he don't, basically. So I don't even know how, like, Stacey's just fluctuated with his looks, basically, and everything. But like, he is not all that. Like, he really has anger problems that he needs to work on and everything, and he's not going to work on it because he thinks there's nothing wrong with him and everything, that he's right all the time and everything. Dude ain't Jack. He ain't Jack. So I'm sorry to all the ladies who are head over heels for Florian, who love him, who like have a crush on him. He ain't Jack. he ain't Jack. My unpopular opinion. Now everybody can come at me and say, "Oh, Nathan, you ain't Jack either. You doing this and that too, blah blah blah." But one thing, I will not disrespect like people in that caliber like that. That's my thing. So anybody who wants to comment and say, "Well, Nathan, you're being too mean about Florian," or "Nathan, you're wrong," this and that and everything. Again, it's my unpopular opinion and everything, but I don't like when people act like that. And if he wants to call off the therapist, there's a better way to do it. Be like, "You guys, respectfully, I disagree with how this all played out. Like there might have been some misconceptions of what happened with Gino and Jasmine that I may not know about, but I'm just a person who doesn't believe in therapy. It's nothing personal and everything, but I didn't get much out of it. Maybe that's something I need to work on myself and everything, just coming from my culture and stuff. That's how you handle it. But no, he likes to scream. So, and yell at them and like don't even let them to talk or whatever, and it embarrasses Stacy and everything. The pillow talkers even said that they could see Stacy's point of view with it, because like she can't take him anywhere because he acts like that. So anyway, I'm done with the rant with Florian. So they wrapped up the tell-all. Everybody goes in the back and say their goodbyes. Dr. Reba even came and talked to Jasmine a little bit, congratulated her on the baby, and telling her basically stay away from the negativity and everything, like, and just focus on your miracle of life coming and everything. Natalie and Josh, like I said, they go their separate ways. Ari and Benny, they still want to co-parent. They're not legally divorced yet and everything. We all know Gina and Jasmine are done. Brandon and Julia, they seem like the only couple that left kind of happy in this whole tell-all and everything. Rob and Sophie, of course, are done and everything. And then Stacey and Florian left together, and they're still like at each other's throats. So yeah. Anyway, guys, it's finally over. It's done. It's done. It is done. The 90 Day The Last Resort Season 2 is done. I'm done. I covered the tell-all because it was a juicy tell-all, but this is why I did not do all 20 plus episodes. I could not take this. I could not take this. Like I said, it takes a lot for me to do, like for me not to do like the 90-day shows. But when you have like an entire cast of the cringiness couples and everything, I thought season 1 of The Last Resort was a lot better than this. Like at least the couples tried better with that. They all took it more seriously. Yes, they're crazy outside of their therapy, but like at least they took this a little bit more seriously and everything, and learned something from it and everything, unlike these folks right here. So I'm just glad this season's finally over. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is the end of my review. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe to my channel. I'll be back on next week to do 90 Day Fiance. And we got a month before the new 90 Day Hunt for Love starts. So like I said, next week I'll start my Catfish rewatches. And the fill-ins to until the new 90 Day show comes out. I'm not doing 90 Day Diaries. There's no sense of doing it and everything. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. I love you guys so much. Thank you to all my new subscribers who are joining in and everything. We're almost at 100K. We're almost at 100 subscribers. I almost said 100K. Yeah, I wish I had that many, but we're almost at 100 subscribers. So please share this video with a friend or two and everything. Tell them about this page and everything. And yeah, we're growing. We got a lot of changes coming, a lot of big plans coming for the Nathan Temp 2 page. So I just need you guys to be on my corner and my support during this time. Love you guys and see y'all soon. Bye, y'all.